On the night I turned 18, I stood in our kitchen holding cupcakes while my mom typed apologies to my guests. In the backyard, fairy lights blinked over the empty tables I'd set. It began that morning when my brother, Caleb, stormed in and slammed the front door. He'd planned a road trip and a concert. The car broke down, the trip collapsed, and he came home furious. He didn't glance at my banner or the streamers. He pointed toward the yard and said, "If I can't have fun, then neither can she." Mom went still. Before I could speak, she'd canceled everything, telling everyone it was personal, then adding that I was sick. Dad kept his eyes on the sink, polishing a glass that didn't need it. By evening, the yard was still dressed for a party that wasn't coming. My phone stayed silent. Mom kept insisting, "It's better this way, Violet. Your brother isn't in a good place." Something in me snapped. I went upstairs and packed without noise, clothes, school folders, charger. My old camera went into the bottom of my backpack. Halfway through zipping it, Mom called up, sharp, "Violet, now!" In the kitchen, they waited. Mom with arms crossed, Dad leaning on the counter, Caleb slouched at the table. They recited his bad day, his stress, his shifts at Dad's shop. I asked why my birthday had been erased without telling me. Caleb laughed. "Oh my God, you're making this about you?" The doorbell rang, again. Dad hurried to answer, and I heard his surprised voice, "Maryanne?" My aunt stood on the porch with a suitcase, staring past him at the untouched cupcakes and the lit-up yard. Maryanne rolled her suitcase in and stared past us at the lit yard and the cupcakes nobody would eat. Mom, Diane, clicked on a smile. "You shouldn't have come. Violet's sick." Maryanne looked me up and down. "Sick," she said, flat. Then she turned to me. "What happened?" I told her. "Caleb's road trip died. The concert vanished. And he came home furious. He pointed at my decorations and said, 'If I can't have fun, then neither can she.'" Mom canceled my party and lied to everyone that I had a fever. The words kept going, how be understanding always meant make room for Caleb, how I was the strong one so I could swallow it, how my birthday wasn't an argument. Dad, Greg, tried to smooth it over. Maryanne lifted a hand. "I didn't ask you." She faced my parents. "For 2 years I've been wiring you money for the coffee shop," she said. "You told me you were saving to make Violet's 18th special." My stomach dropped. Mom's smile cracked. Caleb's scoff sounded thin. "I'm done," Maryanne said. "Not because you're struggling, because you're using one kid as an excuse to erase the other." She turned back to me, voice softer. "I have a spare room in Portland. If you want out, you can come tonight." Mom snapped that I wasn't going anywhere. Greg begged for a talk tomorrow. Caleb muttered, "So dramatic." Something steady settled into my chest. "Okay," I said. "I want to go." I ran upstairs, grabbed my backpack, camera tucked deep, and a duffel, and came down before I could rethink it. Mom's eyes were wet with panic. "Don't expect us to chase you." "Don't," I said, and stepped into the cold beside Maryanne. Maryanne's Portland house was smaller than ours, but it felt bigger because nobody stomped through it. She handed me a spare room key and, that first night, lit a candle in a single cupcake. "Make a wish anyway," she said. I wished to stop disappearing. Diane texted apologies that weren't apologies. Caleb's stress, the shop's bills, the family. Greg sent, "Hope you're safe," and nothing else. I found work at a used bookstore and let the quiet rebuild me. When Diane asked me to persuade Maryanne to restart the payments, something hardened. I typed, "If you want me to consider coming home, Caleb moves out." Then I hit send. A week later, Caleb appeared outside the library. "They're not kicking me out," he said, "so come back and fix this." He reached for my wrist and clamped down. Eli from the bookstore stepped between us and peeled Caleb's hand away. "Touch her again and I'm calling the police," he said. Caleb raged, selfish, brainwashed, traitor, then backed off when strangers watched. At home, I showed Maryanne the red marks. She didn't minimize it. "You never owe him your body," she said, and I believed her. Diane's final message arrived days later. We'll focus on the child who still cares about this family." I replied, "Thank you. Goodbye." I blocked them all. On my 19th birthday, I photographed my own candles with the old camera. No one canceled them. Later, a cousin posted the shop's window taped over, "Under new management." Universe didn't need my help.